And where are we? Merle Haggard, the Haggard Ode. Back again to these poems which focus on, I might say, on real people. After that book, there was quite a period of close on 20 years, where Carl basically did not publish, except occasionally in magazines, didn't have a book. And part of it was his own reluctance to push himself and to send his work out, a kind of dissatisfaction with the state of things. Over the years that I knew him, I had to resist more times than not his request to throw that thing away. I don't like it anymore. The whole book of the Providings, he didn't like anymore. He wanted me to throw my copy away. Well, I didn't, and I'm glad, but he was constantly searching for a better way to say and see, observe, and generate insight. Finally, with Shake Hands, Nalsa's Bichiden, the Tail Gunner's Song, all coming very, very quickly, right around 2000, he sort of moved into his what turned out to be his final and richest period. After Dale Smith at Skanky Possum Press published Nalsa's Bichiden and the Tail Gunner's Song, he took on a really big task. He was going to try to develop funding to do a big book of Carl's, Nalsa's Bichiden II, which runs over 331 pages. It is might say the final essence of Carl's work. He only published 26 copies of this. He was going to, and hopefully will be able to use them to generate some support to publish a larger edition. But for the moment, Carl's largest legacy exists in only barely more than 24 copies. And it is a remarkable book. Again, focused so much on, here we go, Forest Mount, Colonel John Singleton Mosby, 12 Faces, the Eugene O'Neill Ode, a 50s song for song, the Hemingway Ode. He did a whole series of odes to people, and they are, I think, among the most illuminating portraits in poetry that have been written for a long, long time. It takes you back to, in a way, Walter Savage Landor and his imaginary portraits. But I think these are better.
3, 2, 1.
He also left unpublished works. I mentioned that his novel West is forthcoming in around December, is what I hear from the publisher. But here is a large book of short stories called The Medusa Cement Company. Here is a novel called Memoir of a $6 Hitman. Here is a screenplay, Garrett, about Sheriff Pat Garrett. Here is another screenplay, The Night Customer. He has a whole large book of poems, some of which may have been included in Nalsa's, but many were not, just simply called Pages, that fills up, you know, as you can see, 500 or so pages of manuscript. This is West. Oh, here is another complete and finished novel called Palm Coast that is essentially an autobiography of Carl, going from his early days in Los Angeles, his schooling at Brown Military Academy, his many escapades, and on. Among the other things that he did, he and I collaborated on what turned out to be a single-issue magazine called The Regulator. Was great fun to do. We ended up with fewer than 20 subscribers to the first issue, so we gave up on the deal. He also wrote a group of poems that were illustrated by George Kramer, a wonderful artist at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, who has also since died. George worked with computer imagery and painted with computers. And he painted absolutely marvelous, intricate illustrations for Carl's poems. All I have at the moment is the introduction I wrote to the book. I think it was produced in maybe 4 or 5 copies. I have one somewhere and I can't find it. That's life. But Carl's legacy is very large. Here are, 1,000 pages of letters, of more poems, some of them duplicates of poems that are already in manuscript, some that are not. Articles, reviews. He was a consummate, man of literature. He read and wrote very widely, and he thought well, and he could use the language as few other poets have been able to use it in a long, long time.